So I'm sitting here thinking about what advice to give, and then I look to the right, and then I start like observing all of my cookbooks, and I'm like, fuck, maybe I can go over some of the great things, the great advices in all these books. And then I lay my eyes on something that I got as a gift, and it was a super, super nice gift, and I appreciate it very much, but the actual book is pretty shit. And so I thought I would rather tell you how to tell if a cookbook is shit. Here is the beauty that, I don't know if this counts as defamation or slander or whatever the fuck, I think it just counts as facts. Here is the beauty. The God of War cookbook. Now, God of War is one of my favorite, like, games of all time, the 2018. I think Ragnarok was a massive disappointment, but I know it's a contentious opinion, but basically, the humongous fan of the story and of Kratos and of Atreus. Like, I think that's a super, super sweet thing that they set up here. Unfortunately, this cookbook, the author's names I'm leaving out, so I don't think it can be counted as a defamation case. So you can see the phone in the light, that's nice. I think this is one of the worst examples of a cookbook, like, fucking ever, and I think this is a cash grab, and I don't think it is... I hope it was made out of passion and out of love, and if it was a passion project and the people who made it genuinely can't do better than this, then, like, okay. But in the most of the realities, that's like the 14 million realities, only one of them is that the case. The most of them, the case is that this is just a soulless cash grab, and let me explain to you why. First off, let us see this potato recipe. This potato is gonna be bland as fuck, guaranteed. Hasselback potatoes are a great, like, opportunity to put something in between the folds, in between the crevices. Here, there's fucking nothing. There's butter, olive oil, Jotun spice mixture, fucking garlic powder, and then chives. And then obviously the 3 large russet potatoes themselves. So, as a side, is this like abhorrent? Would it work if there's a sauce? I'm sure it's cooked. I'm sure they know how to cook it. I'm sure that like it's properly cooked through and it's not like raw. But the problem with this, you can just imagine, if you bite into this, it's gonna be super nice and crispy at the top, and then like midway through, it's just gonna be pretty bland. And if you pair it with something nice, sure. But it is interesting to dedicate so many whole pages and so many whole recipes to these things that are basically just sides. And another little thing, is when the author says, fresh chives minced for serving. I don't know if you can see here, these chives are not minced. If you actually have cut chives, you know that it's very, very possible to cut them super fine, way finer than that. And this length, I've cut those length of chives before. It's when I was being lazy. It's when I was being very, very lazy. I was using like a blunt knife on a fucking wet cutting board. Just like going through the motions. And that's what you end up with. And especially when you are gonna like give a cookbook, like give recipes for a cookbook, it's an interesting decision. It's a very, very interesting decision to make, to cut them that thick. But that's a little bit nitpicky. Surely the rest of the cookbook is good, right? Here again, we have a quiche. A mushroom quiche. Let's see. They have, okay, the first thing I'd like to say is, hold on. This may not actually be an issue. Okay, good. Okay, good, lovely. So the ingredients in this one seem to be fine, except, if you see here, the pastry dough. Dough sheets defrosted. Now, here's Kratos, nice. This is basically the author saying, fuck you. I don't want to make the pastry dough from scratch, so I'm just going to use the frozen sheets. Is this like a nice thing to like do if you don't want to make the pastry dough by yourself, and if you don't want to like fucking go through all the hassle of doing that? Kind of. The quiche like crust isn't terribly hard to make on its own. You can also buy a pre-made like pie crust. I know it won't be exactly the same thing, but it's pretty similar. And just the fact that they use the not the puff pastry, but the phyllo, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that in English, dough sheets, defrosted. You can see these many flaky layers. They just took it out of the 99 cents package, bam, shot it on there, cool. Which, if you have zero money, if you, I mean, if you're just like have zero money, zero creativity, and zero like ability, sure, go ahead, it's fun, it's fine. Or if this is the first time you're making the dish, I'm a big proponent of just make it first and then like ask questions later. Just don't let it stop you from making it. But especially when it's a cookbook, when you're supposed to be showing off with this, like, it's not the greatest. Is there fucking something on my chin? I don't think so. Okay, basically. And then here's the whole concept they have for the book, which is like all the realms, Osgarder, Jotunheimer, basically all the 9 realms. And it's cool. The art in this is very nice. I have to say the art in this is super cool. But what I don't like is that the different realms are basically just like, they translated into just countries. And I think they could have gotten a little bit more creative with that. Like, for example, hold on. The Alfheim, which it was an interesting, let's just say it was definitely an interesting fucking level in the game. Alfheim, I don't like it. It makes me feel very uncomfortable whenever was there in the game. It's just just not nice. They just basically make that, if I'm not mistaken, just the Middle East. And it's like, sure, but I don't know. It just feels interesting when they use one-to-one analogs for countries. Here's another thing. Here's a stylistic thing. Yeah, for example, like whole roasted carrots. Like, I guess it's fine if it's like introductory cookbook. It's like, yeah, you can roast carrots. Wow, cool. And are these gonna be fine? Sure. They're gonna be okay. But again, dedicating a whole thing to, hey, you can put potatoes in the oven. Hey, you can put carrots in the oven. Like, I think it's a waste of a cookbook page. This is page 6, 7. Nice. So basically, I didn't even realize that, but what I did realize is over here, you see the Norse text. So what a self-respecting author would have done is they would have like looked up what carrots are in the old Norse, like elder Fudark or younger Fudark, I don't know which one this is, in one of the texts, and then they would have translated it. But rather, these fucking dumbasses just translated the English word phonetically. So you can see it has the same amount of letters, whole roasted carrots, just the English word phonetically into the Norse alphabet, which is like a nice touch, and no one's gonna fucking care, probably, about this, but it's just something that grinds my gears, personally, because I like the whole Norse aesthetic and the alphabet and whatever the fuck, and I like God of War, and this is just definitely not, like, this is not what it would be in the language. So here's another thing. Beautiful. Tuna tartare. Again, does this make sense at all? It's gonna be an avocado layer, and it's gonna be a tuna layer. Sure. Also, you can tell a white person made this because here are the ingredients for the. Okay, this is when white people try to make Asian food. It's just a fat and then a fish. It's like avocado, which is not even really a vegetable. It's like mostly a fat source because of how, like, the texture of it and whatever. And then it's just a fish. There's no rice next to it. There's no, like, there's nothing next to it. And you can see around the edges the lemon juice. Do they have lemon juice? No, they don't. Then what the fuck is that? I was about to say you can tell how the lemon juice has eaten its way into the fish because the edges are kind of white and starting to be cooked. But there's no lemon juice in the fish recipe. What the actual fuck is that? I don't know. Okay, so you can tell a white person made this. Here's how. 2 cloves garlic finely minced, grated ginger, wasabi paste. I guess you just mix the wasabi paste into the fish now. Cool. 2 scallions, soy sauce, sesame oil, honey. Also, 1.5 tablespoons of sesame oil for a half a pound of tuna. The fish. Yeah, like, what else could it be? But That much sesame oil is a fuckload of sesame oil, I have to say. And also using honey. Also, what is this? What is this fucking text? This can't be from ChatGPT because it was released before ChatGPT, but nice doggy. And it's just in unbold text, and the rest of it is in bold text. I think this is also supposed to be from the Told from the Eyes of Mimir, and sure, but he's just ahead. How the fuck? Okay, what is this? Scotch eggs. Like, sure. It's just a very, very basic cookbook. I wonder if I have... Yeah, okay, I have a cookbook that mogs the actual fuck out of this one. And I'm gonna show you it. But, okay, so... You can tell a white person made this because there's honey in the fish. And also because... Look at this fucking liquid. Something was leaking like crazy, and they didn't bother to, like, clean it up. Let's see. Barely ripe avocados, and it's barely ripe avocado. This is gonna be so... It's just gonna taste like ass. Serrano okay, I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, anyway, so this cookbook is not good. You can tell that a white person made all the Asian dishes. You can tell that a white person made all the dishes, and not like an American white person. And you can tell that they just Google translated letter by letter the runes. They went on Google, they just said rune translator. They didn't even fucking consult Jackson Crawford. There's the one downside of the God of War series is that they didn't consult Jackson Crawford for any of the Norse stuff. Okay, I will now, let's see. There we go. The forum's looking overdeveloped as always. This, on the other hand, is a wonderful cookbook. It is about the Mangalitsa pig. You can tell that it was written by a Hungarian because, what's it called? They misspell it a bunch of times. There are so many grammatical errors. But, so, Turbo Chad, story in the beginning. Look at this gentleman. And then, the way you can tell it's a good cookbook is they tell you who made the recipe in either one, the reasoning for it, and then look at, like, just look at the difference. Just look at, like, this individual, whoever designed this cookbook, knows about flavor combinations. Look at this amazing dog. Look at this beautiful dog. I hope he doesn't get used in the recipe. Okay, this is actually funny. It's just interesting. But, like, look at this shit. Is this braised? What? Okay, see this. It looks way more professional. You may look at this and think, what the fuck, it's raw. No, it was confit, so it was cooked in oil for a long time, so it's actually going to be tender. There's a rhyme and a reason to it. There's also... Yeah, there's just so many things. You can see things like here, it actually has the reasoning for all the dishes. You can do so much. I haven't even gotten used to all the recipes in here. And it's been a while. Crispy mangalitsa, blood with onion. Like, who wouldn't want to eat this? But you can see the quality difference. And yeah, look at this. Cold tomato soup. Look at the way they present it. Look at the way they fucking make it. It's just so much different. That's such a better culture. Like, look at this shit. You don't get that in the God of War cookbook. And it's all about this one pig and using this one Hungarian woolly pig, which is the mangalitsa, and just making the best of it. Whereas the God of War cookbook is just shit. Because, number one, you can tell, like, it goes across, like, 90 different cuisines, but the chef doesn't know how to make it. Like, the Gordon Ramsay cookbooks do also have, like, white person constructed Japanese food and whatever, but they don't try to hide anything. Like, it's very clearly an old British man, or not at that time he wasn't old, but it's very clearly a British man who's like, yeah, I want to take some Japanese flavors and then put it into things that I already want to make. in this God of War cookbook, it's just, here's my idea of what Asian people eat. Here, yay, here I go put honey and fish together. It's like a it's a very, very uninformed shit take. Whereas in this other cookbook and in like the other recipes, like the Gordon Ramsay cookbooks, I have it like, do I have it? Yeah, I think I have that one. Anyways, I'm not gonna bother getting it out. Oh, I think it's in the living room. Anyways, so in the Gordon Ramsay cookbooks, you'll see that he's obviously Scottish, British, and he's like goes all around the cuisine. And he's like, yeah, I'm making this in Vietnamese like broth, or like I'm making this with Japanese seasoning or whatever. But he doesn't try to be. He doesn't try to pretend to be Japanese. He doesn't try to LARP. He just takes the seasoning because he's British. He like colonizes. He takes the seasoning. He goes back and then he makes the dish that he would have there, which is with a different seasoning. And it's funny and it's cool and it's like respectful because it's not trying to be fucking Japanese. This bullshit. Excuse me. Excuse my profanity. I wonder if I can find this. Yeah. This is pure 100% Idaho descent. They're like, yes, this will be so hip with the kids. Let's put minced garlic in the poke bowl, and also scallions, and also soy, sesame oil, and honey, because that's what, because that's a lovely combination. If you didn't know, you don't put honey in you don't put honey in here. And then let's see. For the avocado layer, sesame seeds. Fucking, why would you put sesame seeds in the avocado layer but not the tuna layer when that's one of the most obvious, like one of the most obvious flavor combinations is tuna and sesame. Which they put the sesame oil, but way too much of it and no seeds. Juice of 1 lime. Again, why the fuck? I mean, I guess you could kind of put that in whatever, but I mean in both of them, but it's just weird. Plus you have half of a medium shallot, 2 cloves of garlic, and 2 whole scallions. Well, the green parts only, but still. Number 1, I can't see the scallions out anywhere. Number 2, that's 3 separate alliums. Forget about making this for a date. You're gonna be filing for a divorce as soon as either of you eats this, because holy fuck, there's so much onion in this. There's this little liquid of premature avocado juice, and then there's the fucking tuna, which is getting cooked it's not even getting cooked by lemon juice because there's no lemon juice in it, but it's getting cooked by, if you don't know, like if you add lemon to a raw fish like this, you'll see it change color because it like chemically cooks it somehow. So it's not even getting cooked by lemon juice, it's just getting cooked by like either shame, embarrassment, or just like the lighting that's on there. Yeah. And it's like, it's interesting. It's interesting. And then there's you can make the funny joke that, oh yeah, but this is a fictional book about fiction. Bro is mauling over fictional recipes. I guess, I guess. But if you're not special needs, then you'll see how this is very, very clearly inspired by, yeah, this, look, in the same realm, same chapter, just straight up banh mi. It's not even called anything different. It's just like, hey, what's funny and Asian? This is funny and Asian. And they have all this and they make a babka, which is a fucking Eastern European Ashkenazi recipe, and they put matcha in it just because fucking Lord knows. Anyways, this is a confused mess. I love God of War. I love cooking. I fucking hate this cookbook. It's not just conceptually. It's pretty. The art in it is still pretty. I'll still keep it. Maybe I'll even no, I won't fucking make the recipes in here. No, I don't know who I'm trying to convince. So make sure you have a much more cohesive cookbook that doesn't try to pretend to be anything it's not, and then you'll be fine. That's it. I'm completely. What's that quote from the review, brah? That my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined.